How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome in to 14P. I am Marco. If you haven't seen me or you don't know who I am, you're a new subscriber. I've been off for about a month and a half here on paternity leave, but I am back and I am bringing you some awesome Dynasty content. And today I am talking our very first rookie profile of the season, and I am talking Isaiah Spiller. Before I jump in, I want to remind you guys we've launched our Patreon account where Justin and I have thrown together our consensus rookie rankings for your Dynasty drafts coming up this offseason. Obviously, things might change with Combine and Draft Landing Spot and Draft Capital, but right now, at least, we've got our initial tiered rookie rankings on Patreon. So go ahead and subscribe to our Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can also find me on Twitter at Marco_14P. All right, well, let's jump into Isaiah Spiller. I will do a little bit of a spoiler here. Isaiah Spiller is my number one ranked running back in this class. He is one of the guys who I think might be probably one of maybe two or three true workhorse running backs that are in this class. There's not a ton of them. This isn't a super prolific class, but there's a lot of guys that I like, and Isaiah Spiller is one of them. So let's jump right into what he's done in 2021. So he rushed for a little over 1,000 yards, 6 rushing touchdowns, while adding 25 receptions, 189 yards, and a receiving touchdown. He is one of those guys who I think can do it all, and I think that's going to translate at the NFL level. When we look at some of his strengths, you have to look at his vision. His vision and patience are really reminiscent of, you know, even a Najee Harris like we saw come out this year. Obviously, he's not been the most efficient with that offensive line, but I think along with his vision and patience, Isaiah Spiller brings really phenomenal footwork. These are kinds of the things that you saw Najee Harris help him in a system that gave him a horrible offensive line. And I think Isaiah Spiller, regardless of landing spot, will be able to find success at the NFL level because of his vision, his patience, and especially his footwork. It's probably some of the best footwork in the class, in the 2021 class of running backs, or sorry, 2022 class of running backs. The next thing is contact balance. And this is the thing where he kind of separates himself. Him and one other guy who we're going to talk about a little bit later on another video, Kenneth Walker, kind of beat everyone else in this class when it comes to contact balance. He is a violent runner, and he basically never goes down on first contact. He's one of those guys where if you've got him one-on-one in the open field, he's going to make you miss, and he's probably, if he doesn't make you miss, going to make you bounce right off of him as he comes barreling down the open field. And when it comes to explosiveness for him, I think this is a strength because he's got great burst, but he doesn't have that top end speed. So that would be technically one of his weaknesses. But this whole class in general doesn't have a ton of top end speed when you're looking at the true workhorse level running backs. But when it comes to burst, that's kind of where Isaiah Spiller's sweet spot is. The open space, burst in short areas, open spaces is kind of one of his major strengths at Texas A&M. And I think he's going to be able to bring that over to the NFL as well. Now, the major weakness, not actually major in air quotes here, but the major weakness for Isaiah Spiller, really the only thing that I'm worried about for him right now, the only real concern I have is that he has struggled with fumbles in college. He fumbled 8 times, maybe 9 times by the end of his college career. And that's something that you need to be aware of. So if he's not able to work on that, it's going to be hard for NFL coaches to trust him right away at the next level. So that's something you got to keep your eye on, see what he does in the offseason, see, early work, wherever he lands, if he's getting that early work, how he's doing with ball security. If he starts fumbling early, that could be a major concern for him that he's going to have to figure out. But that's kind of the only weakness I see in Isaiah Spiller's game. He is a guy who can do really well in the passing game. He runs decent routes. He hasn't been used super often outside. He runs a lot of wheel routes and things like that. But I think what he is able to do as a route runner and as a pass catcher is really what you're looking for when you look at a college running back coming into the NFL. He kind of is the prototypical running back for the 2022 season, for today's NFL. And so I like Isaiah Spiller, like I said, as my number one running back. And I've actually got him comped to Joe Mixon. And Joe Mixon's had a little bit of an up and down career, but really the skill set that Joe Mixon brings That is exactly what Isaiah Spiller can be in the NFL. And I think he could have even more upside if he gets the fumble issue worked out. So right now, like I said, Isaiah Spiller, he is a guy that you're going to want in your drafts. He's one of my favorite running backs in this class. We're going to talk more about these rookies as the season goes on. We're going to update some of these rankings. But like I said, if you are looking for our tiered rankings, head over to 14 Personnel on Patreon and become a patron for $2 if you want to just support us. But for $5 a month, that's it. You can get all of our dynasty rankings, all of our rookie rankings, and we're updating those regularly, making sure that you have all of the most up-to-date information. Thank you guys for hanging out. This has been our very first rookie profile. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Peace.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.